Good morning. Thank you all, y bienvenidos, for gathering here today to celebrate and honor the life of Raul Grijalva. And thank you to Raul's family, his wife Ramona, his daughters Adelita, Raquel, and Marisa, and his grandchildren for receiving us with such grace as we mourn his loss. Today I've been entrusted with the awesome responsibility of reflecting on Raul's legacy and mentorship. Raul was one of the most generous, wise, and principled people I'd ever met, and he had one of the best laughs imaginable. And as I sat with the weight and prayed over the weight of this task to speak to this today, I could almost hear Raul's voice in the back of my mind saying, "Make it good, mija, okay?" Raul was born in 1948, not too far from here in Canoa Ranch, south of Tucson, to his mother, Rafaela, and his father, Raul. Raul was a self-professed mama's boy. And in a conversation he once recorded with his daughter Marisa for the Library of Congress, he told a definitional story of his upbringing. You see, when young Raul was in the 7th or 8th grade or so, he had earned a prestigious academic award at school, and it was given to just a small amount of students. The school told him to invite his parents, but at the time, he let the ceremony go by without telling his mother, because in those early adolescent years, he had, in his words, felt embarrassed because she couldn't quite speak English and all the other parents could, an experience that many bilingual children can relate to. 3 months go by, and well, I'll let Raul's words tell the rest of the story. I quote, "Pasaron como 3 meses. 3 months go by. The ceremony's over, and my mom turns to me and says, ¿Cómo te fue el premio? How'd the award go?" She knew. She then told Raul, "Mira, mijito, no te olvidas que naciste con un nopal en la frente. Don't forget, you were born with a nopal, a cactus leaf on your forehead, and that's you. That's who you are, and you should never be embarrassed about it." That moment changed Raul. He spoke about how it prompted him to become more conscious of how people treated one another and to become more aware of issues in his community. Raul became a dedicated community organizer, elected by his community to the school board, and then to the Pima County Board of Supervisors, where he championed historic bilingual education measures, and then elected later to Congress, where he spent over 20 years rising in post after post, sagely advising the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, chairing the Congressional Progressive Caucus for 10 years, and ultimately ascending as chairman of the House Natural Resources Committee, stewarding responsibility over virtually all federal and tribal lands in the United States. And the remarkable thing about it all is that if you were just a person talking to or joking around with him for the first time, you'd never know. Siempre con un nopal en la frente, always carrying that proverbial cactus with him. Raul constantly championed the unseen and overlooked, and in addition to the people of his district, he was beloved from tribal communities in Alaska to rural campos in Puerto Rico. More than any title or bill can possibly describe is the impact Raul had on an entire generation of leaders and young people in the state of Arizona and nationally. Raul had a gift for mentorship and for identifying talent that could otherwise go overlooked. But he never leaned on his considerable experience and knowledge to condescend to others or to pull rank. And he always treated even the newest members of Congress as respected partners in governance. Raul gave me and so many countless others real, and rare opportunities to grow and to lead. From, in just my second term, entrusting myself alongside Congresswoman Nidia Velázquez and Representative Soto to lead negotiations on the Puerto Rico Status Act, and to later then giving me my first opportunity to lead a subcommittee as the ranking member for Energy and Mineral Resources. At the time, when he asked me to take this post, he told me it was his goal to prepare and hand over as many of his subcommittee gavels to women as possible. And he did. That's just who Raul was. No statements, no pressers, he just did it. And that commitment was born of his principles as much as it was born from his endless love for his wife Ramona and his 3 daughters, Adelita, Raquel, and Marisa. He was a tío to many, including me, gifting countless people from busboys to chairpersons his famous artworks drawn on committee stationery, and sharing his equally famous jokes as a token of affection. And he was a prankster. And I'll end with this. One time, Raul and I had the honor of being invited by Speaker Emerita Pelosi to join the United Nations Climate Summit as part of an esteemed delegation. As we walked through the summit, a crush of young people and advocates began following the delegation, and it started getting crazier and crazier. People shouting out and asking for pictures, and the fervor started growing and growing. I had never experienced something like this before, and I turned to Raul and I said, "Tío, can you believe this? What's going on over here?" And he turns to me and says with his wry smile, "Mijita, I told them you were Katy Perry." That was Raul, siempre con el nopal en la frente, his cactus, and reminding us of ours too. May we all learn from his example and to live generously, wield what we can for others, and let our sense of humanity lead the way. Que en paz descanse. Thank you.